Ladies and gentlemen, there is one principle, one keynote, one eternal truth that stands above all others when it comes to success. Clarity of purpose is the compass of achievement. Without a compass, even the strongest ship drifts aimlessly upon the sea. Without purpose, the most gifted individual becomes lost in the chaos of life. Purpose is the guiding star. It tells you where to go, what to fight for, and why your struggle matters. Let me ask you, how many people rise each morning with no definite aim, no burning mission, no written goal? They move through their days reacting to circumstances instead of commanding them. They work hard, yet they remain poor in spirit and empty in accomplishment. Why? Because their energy is scattered, their efforts are divided, their compass is broken. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine waking each morning with a crystal, clear vision of what you want, who you must become, and the actions you must take. Imagine carrying within you a sense of mission so strong that distractions fall away like dust in the wind. That, my friends, is the power of clarity of purpose. Purpose transforms ordinary men and women into giants. It takes the timid and makes them bold. It turns failure into fuel, and it gives suffering a meaning so powerful that nothing can stop the individual who holds it. When you have a definite purpose, your mind becomes magnetized. Opportunities that once seemed invisible now reveal themselves. People who can help you appear. Circumstances begin to bend in your favor. Some call this luck. I call it the law of purpose in action. But clarity of purpose is not something you stumble upon. It must be deliberately created. It requires you to ask yourself with brutal honesty, what do I want most from life? What legacy do I wish to leave behind? What am I willing to sacrifice to obtain it? Until you can answer these questions, you will remain like a traveler without a map. And here is the secret: your purpose must be definite, not vague. To say, I want success, is not a purpose. To say, I will build a business that frees my family from poverty within the next 5 years is. To say, I want happiness, is not a purpose. To say, I will cultivate harmony, gratitude, and love within my home each day is. Purpose must be specific, measurable, and personal. Only then does it set fire to the soul. The moment you fix your purpose in writing, something shifts inside you. The mind becomes ordered. The heart becomes strong. You begin to see every obstacle not as a wall, but as a stepping stone. You stop asking, can I, and start declaring, I will. And let me tell you, this a man or woman with clarity of purpose is more powerful than armies, more influential than wealth, and more unshakable than fear. Because while the world bends with every storm, the one with purpose stands like a mountain, unmoved and unwavering. So I say to you, write your purpose. Speak your purpose. Live your purpose. Repeat it daily until it becomes the very air you breathe. Let it command your thoughts, direct your actions, and lift your spirit. With clarity of purpose, you will know where to go, and with relentless action, you will surely arrive. Remember this keynote, and let it guide your life. Clarity of purpose is the compass of achievement. Without it, you are lost. With it, you are unstoppable. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth so powerful, so undeniable, that once you grasp it, you will never think the same way again. That truth is this: your thoughts are seeds, and you will harvest exactly what you plant. Every idea you hold, every belief you nurture, every picture you allow to occupy the garden of your mind will sooner or later take root and bear fruit in the soil of your life. Some harvest joy, wealth, and greatness because they plant seeds of abundance, confidence, and vision. Others reap sorrow, failure, and poverty because they allow the weeds of fear, doubt, and envy to grow unchecked. Your mind is the most fertile land in existence. Nature does not care what you plant. It will return to you whatever you sow. If you plant corn, you will not harvest roses. If you plant weeds, you will not harvest fruit. In the same way, if you think weakness, you cannot harvest strength. If you dwell on lack, you cannot harvest prosperity. If you entertain fear, you cannot harvest courage. You cannot plant failure in your mind and expect success in your life. Now, some people believe that thoughts are insignificant, that they float through the mind and disappear without consequence. But the truth is far different. Thoughts are alive. They shape your words, and your words shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. The invisible always precedes the visible. Every invention, every achievement, every empire began as nothing more than a single thought in the mind of one individual. But here is the tragedy: most people allow their minds to be filled by accident. They absorb the doubts of their friends, the fears of the news, the complaints of society. They walk through life planting weeds, and then they wonder why their garden is barren. My friends, the mind cannot remain empty. It will always produce what is planted in it, whether good or bad. So I ask you, what seeds are you planting? Do you rise each morning with thoughts of victory, or do you rise with thoughts of defeat? Do you dwell on the riches of possibility, or do you dwell on the chains of limitation? Do you speak words that uplift and inspire, or words that weaken and destroy? The choice is yours, for you are the gardener of your own mind. And just as a wise farmer weeds his field daily, so must you guard your thoughts with discipline. When fear enters, cast it out. When doubt whispers, silence it. Replace every negative seed with a positive one, and over time, the harvest of your life will change. And let me assure you of this: one seed of faith is more powerful than 100 seeds of fear. One seed of gratitude can choke out the weeds of resentment. One seed of determination can turn failure into fuel. But you must choose carefully and plant deliberately, for the harvest always matches the seed. There are no accidents in success. The wealthy man first thought prosperity before he attained it. The inventor saw his creation in his mind long before he built it. The leader envisioned victory in his imagination long before he marched his army. The world bows to those who plant the right seeds and refuse to let weeds grow in their mental garden. So begin today. Take control of your thoughts. Write down the images you wish to see in your life. Repeat them daily. Water them with action, fertilize them with persistence, and protect them with faith. Soon enough, the world around you will reflect the world within you. Never forget this keynote truth: thoughts are seeds. Plant only what you wish to harvest. If you plant greatness, greatness will grow. If you plant fear, fear will grow. The soil does not choose. It simply gives you back what you gave it. So I say to you, guard your mind, for it is your field. Plant wisely, tend faithfully, and harvest abundantly. For as you think, so shall you become. Ladies and gentlemen, every great dreamer has felt the fire of desire burning within. Every man or woman who longs for a better life has pictured riches, freedom, or achievement in the silent chambers of the mind. But let me tell you, this truth: desire alone will not build your future. Desire is the spark, but action is the flame. It is only through action that desire becomes reality. Too many live in the prison of wishful thinking. They say, "Someday I will start my business. Someday I will change my habits. Someday I will live the life I deserve." And yet, someday never arrives, because someday is not on the calendar. Life rewards those who act, today, not tomorrow. Action is the bridge between the world of imagination and the world of results. You may have the grandest vision, the strongest desire, the most carefully written plan, but if you do not move your feet, if you do not lift your hands, if you do not step forward, then all of it will die stillborn in your mind. The graveyard is filled with enacted dreams, lost inventions, unwritten books, and unlived lives. Understand this: desire creates the picture, but action gives it substance. A builder may desire a house, but only hammer and stone will raise it. An author may desire a masterpiece, but only pen and discipline will bring it to life. A leader may desire victory, but only courage and labor will win it. Desire without action is like a seed left on the shelf. It contains life, but it will never grow until it is planted. Action has another secret: it builds momentum. When you act once, you gain strength. When you act daily, you gain power. And when you act relentlessly, nothing can stop you. Momentum turns struggle into ease, hesitation into confidence, and small beginnings into mighty outcomes. The world does not honor the one who thinks, but the one who does. But some will say, "What if I fail?" And I tell you, failure in action is far greater than failure in hesitation. For failure teaches, failure shapes, failure refines, while hesitation robs you of growth. Do not fear failure, fear inaction. Fear the wasted years that slip through idle hands. Fear the regret of looking back and saying, I could have, I should have, but I did not. And let me remind you, action need not be perfect. It only needs to be consistent. Many delay their destiny waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect guarantee. Yet the perfect moment is now. The perfect plan is the one you follow, and the perfect guarantee does not exist. Those who wait for perfection remain forever waiting. Those who act with courage, however imperfectly, shape history. Think of every man and woman who has left a mark upon this world. They did not merely desire, they acted. They did not simply dream, they dared. They rose early, they worked late, they stumbled, they bled, and they pressed on. And because of their action, their desires took form in stone, in words, in wealth, in nations. So I say to you, write your desire clearly, fix it firmly in your heart, and then act. Act when it is easy, act when it is hard, act when you feel ready, and especially act when you do not. Let no day pass without one step taken toward your goal. Small steps may seem insignificant, but taken daily, they move mountains. And never forget this keynote truth: action transforms desire into reality. Without action, desire is nothing but smoke. With action, desire becomes flesh and bone, wealth and freedom, victory and legacy. So take the leap. Begin today. Do not merely wish, do not merely want, do not merely dream. Do. For the world belongs not to those who desire, but to those who act. Ladies and gentlemen, every human being is shaped by forces seen and unseen. The books you read, the people you walk with, the places you spend your hours. These form the environment that molds your destiny. You may not realize it, but every day your surroundings are either caging your potential or giving you wings to fly. A lion raised among sheep will forget its roar. An eagle kept in a barnyard will scratch at the dirt instead of soaring in the skies. So too, a man or woman with genius within can be reduced to mediocrity if surrounded by weakness, doubt, and small minds. Your environment whispers to you constantly. If you live among complainers, you will inherit their complaints. If you listen daily to voices of fear, you will feel fear. If you allow yourself to dwell in places of distraction, you will live distracted. The environment does not ask your permission. It imprints itself upon you. But here lies the good news. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You can choose your environment, and in choosing it, you choose your future. Surround yourself with people of vision, and you will catch their vision. Walk with those who speak of growth, and you will grow. Read the words of great thinkers, and you will begin to think greatly yourself. The truth is simple: your environment is a mirror. It reflects the level of life you accept for yourself. If your circle is filled with the lazy, the negative, the aimless, then they will chain you down to their level. But if your circle is filled with the disciplined, the grateful, the ambitious, then they will lift you to heights you never imagined possible. Let me remind you, no one climbs a mountain surrounded by those who tell him to stay in the valley. No one builds a castle surrounded by those content to live in huts. Your wings come from the company you keep, and your cage is built from the company you tolerate. This does not mean you must despise others or think yourself above them. It means you must protect your vision, your energy, and your future. Even a diamond loses its shine if it is buried in dirt too long. But placed in the right setting, it reflects brilliance to the world. So examine your environment. Look at your daily influences. Ask yourself, do these people lift me or lower me? Do these places inspire me or drain me? Do these habits push me forward or pull me back? If the answer is a cage, break free. If the answer is wings, stay and soar. Understand this: greatness is never born in isolation, but it thrives in the right environment. Every man and woman who has achieved something extraordinary surrounded themselves with influences that matched their vision. They walked with those who fueled their ambition, not those who starved it. So take responsibility today. Choose the books that elevate your mind. Seek mentors who stretch your limits. Spend time in places that remind you of possibility, not limitation. Protect your environment as fiercely as you protect your health, because it is the soil from which your destiny grows. Never forget this keynote truth: your environment is either your cage or your wings. If you remain in the wrong cage, your dreams will wither. But if you surround yourself with the right wings, you will rise higher than you ever thought possible. The choice is yours: cage or wings. Choose wisely. Ladies and gentlemen, in the pursuit of success, effort is essential. No man or woman can rise without labor, sacrifice, and persistence. Yet let me reveal a truth that is often forgotten: effort alone is not enough. There are doors in life that will never yield to force, but they will swing open effortlessly to the twin keys of faith and gratitude. Many people exhaust themselves with toil. They work harder, push longer, and struggle bitterly, yet the prize seems to slip from their grasp. Why? Because their hearts are filled with fear instead of faith, and with complaint instead of gratitude. Their hands are busy, but their spirit is empty. They attempt to build success with effort alone, forgetting that effort without the right spirit is like a body without breath. Faith is the power that gives life to action. It is the inner certainty that what you desire is already moving toward you, even if you cannot yet see it. Faith is not mere hope. Hope waits for things to happen, but faith acts as if they are already true. Faith gives you resilience when logic says, quit. Faith gives you courage when circumstances scream, impossible. Faith is the unseen hand that lifts you when human strength has failed. History is filled with men and women who succeeded not because the path was easy, but because faith carried them when effort seemed useless. They believed when others doubted. They moved forward when others froze. They declared victory long before it appeared, and in time, the world had no choice but to mirror the conviction of their hearts. But faith alone is not the full key. The second is gratitude. Gratitude transforms the way you see life. A grateful heart does not curse the struggle. It blesses the opportunity hidden within it. A grateful mind does not focus on what is missing. It multiplies what is present. Gratitude is not passive. It is a magnetic force. It draws more of what you appreciate. The man who gives thanks for small opportunities will soon find greater ones at his door. The woman who is grateful even in hardship discovers strength and solutions invisible to the complainer. Effort without gratitude becomes bitter labor. You may work hard, but if you are always focused on what you lack, your spirit will wither. Yet when gratitude fills your work, even the hardest task becomes sacred. Each step forward becomes a celebration, each challenge a teacher, each delay a blessing in disguise. Gratitude turns the journey itself into reward. And when faith and gratitude work together, miracles unfold. Faith declares that the harvest is coming, and gratitude gives thanks before the fruit has even ripened. Together, they unlock doors that raw effort cannot open, doors of opportunity, doors of inspiration, doors of favor. Now let me ask you, do you carry faith, or do you carry fear? Do you speak words of gratitude, or do you dwell in complaint? The answer to these questions will determine the quality of your success. For while effort is the muscle, faith and gratitude are the breath and heartbeat. Without them, your work is lifeless. With them, your work becomes unstoppable. Make it your habit, then, to rise each morning and declare with faith, today I walk in success. Today I am guided, strengthened, and favored. And close each day with gratitude. Thank you for the lessons, the progress, and the unseen blessings on their way. Do this daily, and you will find strength in the struggle, hope in the hardship, and light in the darkness. Remember this keynote and etch it into your mind. Faith and gratitude unlock the doors that effort alone cannot open. With effort, you may build walls. With effort, you may climb mountains. But with faith and gratitude, you will move mountains. So work with your hands, yes, but also work with your heart. Labor with effort, but fuel that labor with faith and gratitude. Then you will not merely struggle through life. You will rise above it, doors opening before you, destiny unfolding at your command. So, my friends, let this be your decision today. Do not lean on effort alone. Yes, work with discipline. Yes, labor with persistence. But as you do, carry within your heart the unshakable light of faith and the unending richness of gratitude. For when your hands are guided by effort, your mind is filled with faith, And your soul radiates gratitude. No door can remain shut before you. Stand tall, believe deeply, give thanks endlessly, and act boldly. Then watch as the world bends in your favor, opportunities flow to you, and life itself becomes a testament to your power. Faith, gratitude, effort. Together, they are the master key to unlock the destiny that is rightfully yours.